You're watching Drive with NAR, the Realtor to Realtor series powered by Realtor Magazine. Vanessa Barnes is a broker associate and speaker from Celebration, Florida. I want to welcome you here today, and I'm elated that we can be face-to-face for this episode.
Thank you so much for having us, Marquis.
Yes, looking forward to it.
We can't talk about time management without addressing the fact that so many real estate professionals tell their clients they're available 24/7. Give me your thoughts on that and how it can potentially hurt your business.
All right, Marquis. Well, this is such a great question, and I feel many real estate agents struggle with this. And what I find is that, and I struggle with this too, so I totally understand, is we think exceptional customer service means that we don't have boundaries about our time. And what I found is that over time, learning the hard way, missing soccer games at bedtimes and pick up at my son's school, is that it really doesn't go hand in hand. It's really two separate things. We can still provide exceptional customer service and an experience for them and have boundaries and time with our families.
How do you decide how to spend your time in a typical work day? And how do you track that?
I love my paper calendar. It goes everywhere with me. And I think it's really important. And I do a similar exercise is, at the beginning of the week, you have to decide what is prioritized, right? And I like to look at it as the 80-20 rule. So what are my 20% activities that need to be prioritized first, which are your income producing activities? These are those fundamentals. And then everything else really should fall after that. So, and they say eat the frog, right? So you do the hard stuff first, which are those activities, and then everything else should come after.
Did you read the book, Eat the Frog?
A long time ago, and it really stuck with me.
And that book is available via the Realtor Library because I've also read that book. When you think about your schedule, though, Vanessa, can you elaborate on how you incorporate that into your business plan?
Yeah, I think I talked about this before with other people, is you have to really prioritize, how you wake up in the morning. And I think this is really critical because I find that many agents, real estate agents, especially check email or they scroll social media. That's like the first thing they do. And that's like, to me, the worst thing that we can do because then we become reactive instead of proactive. And we're letting the email or the social media dictate what we're doing every day. And it really, honestly, I don't know anybody that checks email and gets in a good mood. No, rarely do we do that, right? We find ourselves in a negative kind of mood. So I think it's really important to set the stage early on in your day and figure out what your morning routine looks like. Is it a time for yourself? I tell my kids, don't talk to me before 6:15 a.m. because this is my time, So I think it's incredibly important to make sure that we limit distractions and we prioritize our schedule first and block the time on our schedule, like physically block it. I think that's really critical for success.
One thing that I often recommend to agents is an 8x8 strategy, strategically reaching out to 8 people before 8 a.m. based on their forward, their family, their occupation, their recreation, and their dreams. But before they reach out, making sure that they post some form of content that solves problems to start engagement while they're strategically reaching out, because it's kind of like a 2-for-1. New agents have a harder time figuring out what time management looks like for them. Are there any certain tips that you have for a rookie brand new to the world of real estate?
Well, I always say flexibility can be our worst enemy sometimes, or that freedom that we feel, because so many new agents especially say, I got into real estate because of the freedom and flexibility that I have. And I think oftentimes that is to their detriment because they still need to have a schedule. You need to think of this still as a job, and you still need to have structured hours. Like, what time are you going to go to work every day? And what time are you going to leave work every day? And I think having that structured schedule and then making sure those fundamentals are in there, prioritized first before anything else, right? Email can wait, but we need to be on the phone calling people, and making connections.
You get distracted. What do you do in order to get back on track?
I use focus mode too as well, to make sure that I've got that time protected. And I do agree. I think that we have to look at emergencies on a case-by-case basis. I agree. It's like, is your roof on fire? Is the house on fire? Is someone in the hospital?
Right.
Because can it really wait 1 hour?
Yes.
Can it really, most real estate related items can wait at least 1 hour. And I do find that it's hard for many of us to get back on track. So we need to be mindful of that and be aware that, okay, is it really a priority? Does it go into that bucket or not? And if it can wait, let's wait and focus on those 20% activities first then we can dive into the challenges that we have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Time management means creating boundaries for yourself, and sometimes you must hold those boundaries with clients and colleagues. How can you do that without risking your business relationships? And you know what? For me, it's not the business, it's the family.
Exactly.
And I have so many boundaries around my house because they see us at home and instantly they believe that we are available. But what are you doing in regards to your clients?
Well, I think it comes from piggybacking on what you said earlier. It's like the scarcity mindset. You know, if we say no to a client, we're not going to necessarily lose that client. And when I finally started setting boundaries on the client side, actually my clients respected it. I put my voicemail after 6:30, I'll return your call the next business day. And I even have on my voicemail, this is why. I even have a statement of my why, which is spending time with my family. And I'll be honest, I was so shocked when I started to do this, and clients would actually say, I know you're spending time with your family, call me tomorrow. And I was like blown away. I'm like, where has this been all my life? You know? And I think it's just, we just need to take one small step. And I think for the audience listening, this isn't an all or nothing thing. If you are in that overwhelm and exhausted phase of no boundaries, just do one thing tomorrow to set that boundary with your client and have that conversation early on at the consultation when you're talking to your client. Say, these are my available days and times, you know, and making sure that they understand that and acknowledge it. Because I guarantee you, they're going to be okay with it.
Thank you for joining us at Drive with NAR, the Realtor to Realtor series.